This one is 7 minutes long, but it's a poem that's very dear to my heart. One that came out of my testimony. When I was 13 years old, I lived in Utah, Cedar City, Utah, and I used to ride my horse up into the mountains. I found a very special spot where I would often sit and converse with nature, and that was where I really, truly found God. I felt closer to Him there than I have ever felt in any church or temple, under any rooftop, anywhere. So this was my sacred place, and this poem is a tribute to those years. And it's called The Ride. Please excuse my bird if you hear him in the background. As I ride my stallion to the mountain top, reaching for the sky, I find myself lost in thought, wondering how and why. How did he do it? Why does he care? And I ask him that when I get up there. I dismount my horse, and I stop and stare. For the beauty that surrounds me, it simply just astounds me. All the sounds around me, everywhere. I feel him deep within me, stirring something in me, something of which I am not yet aware. I hear his words in the songs of the birds as they fill the mountain air, and in the afternoon breeze as it blows through the trees. He is warning me to beware, summons me to notice the spider and the bug, and then he gently gives me a warm internal hug. The spider, he says, is cunning and sly, forever plotting to trap the fly. And many people lay traps too, hoping they will soon catch you. So as you ride on life's rough trail, be sure to watch your gait, for there are those with tooth and nail who skillfully lie in wait. And along the way you will find those who like to be unkind, who will laugh and tease those on their knees while they can't make up their own mind. Then God tells me He won't leave me when all the others don't believe me, and assures me He will teach me right from wrong. And He promises to guide me and to always stay beside me as the crickets hum their slow melodic song. And as I descend the mountain, passing by a fountain, I feel blessed to be alive upon the earth. And I thank God for all His gifts to me, and tell Him to do as He wishes with me, for I was His servant already at my birth. I like to think He understands what He has always meant to me. But I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and to be what I wanted to be. And so in my youth, I strayed a bit from that straight and narrow path. But I like to think He understood, and maybe even laughed. And through the years, as I grew older, His hold on me, well, it grew bolder. And though I resisted to some extent, I never fought too hard, because after all, it is God's game, and He holds the ultimate card. I used to be. And as I remember those wonderful days, my life has changed in so many ways. Before I was strong, and now I am weak. It didn't take long to turn me humble and meek. I can no longer get upon my horse, for gravity is a mighty force. With broken leg, I sit and write to tell this tale to you, somewhat prepared, but still not quite, for what it is I must do. My ride is not yet over. Onward I go still, on an endless search for the perfect church, climbing up life's hill. The Mormon Church disappointed me. The Universal Life Church has anointed me, but I feel God ordained me long ago. The church just never knew me. They said God wouldn't talk to me, but how in the world does anybody know? I know God as well as any man, as well as any human can. He walks with me, and I with him, when I can keep that pace. And I will always be, whether beside or behind, on his team while I'm riding life's race. So though I may not belong to a church, right or wrong, I long to belong to him. And whenever I ask, Lord, show me my task, he answers with vigor and vim. And he tells me to write, both day and night. He tells me to write about him. And now that I know the bulk of his plan, I will watch where I go and do what I can. And though I am scared of crowds just a bit, I'm not scared of any man. For God is with me. This is it. I can do it. I know that I can. Then he fills me with words about life and death. He sharpens my senses and halts my breath. But only for a moment or two. And with my hands shaking at the task I am facing, he tells me again what to do. He says to reach out to those who are lost, who would sell their soul at any cost, to the young and confused, to the scared and the tossed, to tell them they control their own life's ride. We can live with humility or live with pride. Our body is ours to do with as we please as we traverse this physical plane. With doors to open and doors to close, there's so much to lose, yet so much to gain. So walk through any door you want. Some will help you, others will taunt. And if you get stuck or lose your way, all you have to do is stop and pray, and God will rescue you. Yes, I like to remember those rides in September as the leaves crunched beneath my steed. And when I recall those days in the fall, I thank God for planting that seed. Enjoy the ride, everybody. May God bless. They leave a curious gnawing and a humbled ego. Sometimes I feel so lost. Romeo, really? I'll be able to do this. Okay. So, and kissed every morn, and years I have watched roll away. 4 children I've borne and kissed. Sometimes I feel so lost, yet sometimes I feel so lost. Oh, my Lord. Sometimes I feel so... Okay, we're doing this again. Not working.